Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you're here, and if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. I have a small channel, so every subscription is so important for me. Thanks guys. So today I'm here to talk to you guys about a baby's sleep during the first year. And of course I can only talk out of my own experience. But of course every baby is different, but I still think that there are quite a lot of similarities. So first, months 0 to 3. So the first weeks and the first months with the baby can be quite shocking. I was really enjoying that time when she was a newborn, but the thing that was really hard was sleeping. And of course she was a newborn, so she slept quite a lot, but the thing is that she only wanted to sleep on us, and I know that is quite common. And it's cozy and it's nice. It's so cozy during the day when you can just maybe sit on the couch and hold your baby, but then during the night when you also need to get your rest, for us it was really hard. I think the first 3 weeks were the worst for us. So it was a shock. The sleep deprivation came as a shock, and we just basically to get through the first weeks we took shifts on the couch. So the baby did not want to sleep in her bedside crib, or not even in her baby nest. So we took shifts on the couch, and we would sit here in the middle of the night watching TV and just holding her so she could sleep on us. But of course that meant that we couldn't really sleep. So my boyfriend, he would sit up a lot with her and watch YouTube during the night, and I would be sleeping in our bedroom. And when he was too tired and needed to go to bed, he would usually come to the bedroom and I would take over. So that's how we did it the first weeks. And that was really the only thing that worked for us, because every time we tried to put her down in her crib, in her bedside crib, she would wake up almost immediately and start fussing and crying. So that just didn't work at all. And that was hard. That was a tough time. I was so tired and I was so sleep deprived, and it was pretty tough in the beginning. We also did do some co-sleeping during this time. So let's say that my boyfriend would sit here with her on the couch till maybe 2 o'clock, and then he would need to go to bed, and he would bring the baby to me, and I would take the baby next to me in our bed and put her in the baby nest and just let her sleep next to me. The thing was that I wasn't really, or the problem was that I wasn't really comfortable with co-sleeping when she was so small, and that wasn't our plan. But we just had to do whatever worked because we needed to get some sleep. So she would sleep next to me in her baby nest. But yeah, the thing was that she would rather sleep right next to me or on me and not be in the baby nest. And I would also then nurse her. So I was laying down in bed and she would be next to me and I would nurse her like that. And then after nursing, I always tried to put her back in her baby nest. But I wasn't really comfortable with that. As I said, we didn't want to co-sleep with her in the beginning because there are risks, and I know you can do co-sleeping in a safe way. But for me, she was my first baby and I was doing this for the first time, and I didn't feel comfortable. I was afraid of rolling over her, or that she would get too close to me and that something would happen. So we still did this for the first weeks because I had to sleep. But then after 3 weeks we actually bought a Snoo. And if you're interested, I can do a separate review on our Snoo. But that basically saved our sleep. So she would then, after 4 weeks, she would start sleeping in her snoo, and after that I was able to sleep in our bed again in a comfortable position, and she could give us 3 to 4 hour stretches in the snoo, and then I would pick her up and nurse her and then put back, and then she could sleep again 2, 3, 4, 5 hours even, and that was heaven for us compared to the situation we had when we were sitting up on the couch every night or co-sleeping but not feeling comfortable with that. And then getting the snoo, it was a lifesaver for us, so I'm so happy we bought the snoo. And we actually found it on the second-hand market here in Stockholm, and yeah, I found it online, and I was so sleep deprived at that point, so yeah, we just went and bought it right away, pretty much. During the first month, so 0 to 3 months, there is of course also a lot of nursing, if you are nursing, but nursing or feeding with a bottle. I did nurse, so a lot of nursing during the nights, and she could nurse for a long time. Each time she would nurse in the beginning, so yeah, even if the snoo helped a lot with her sleeping situation, I would still be up a lot during the night to nurse her. And I was so tired during this time that it was hard for me to stay awake. When she was nursing, I was sitting up on our bed and just trying to, yeah, I think I was scrolling on my phone quite a lot just to keep me awake, so I wouldn't fall asleep when she was nursing. And with babies that are this small, it's really hard to have any routines, so at least for us, the best way to do everything during the first 3 months was just to kind of go with the flow, do your best, and not to, yeah, for us it was too early to have any routines really, besides the eat, sleep and play routine, which we did implement quite early, but we were not too strict on that either. So let's move on to the next phase, which I divided to 4 to 6 months. So this is when you're kind of getting over the initial shock of having a baby and being sleep deprived, and it's easier to try to get in some routines. Your baby is a bit bigger at this point, and so for us, we kept using the snoo. Worked well for us. I think she gave us usually from 3 to 6 hour stretches. I think usually maybe we had 4 hour stretches, 4 to 5 hours, which is really good. I would still nurse quite a lot, so every time she woke up during the night, I would pick her up from the snoo, take her to our bed, sit up on the bed, nurse, and put her down again. And that I did several times during the night, but that was okay when I could still get a few hours of sleep at least in between nursing. And how we got her to actually fall asleep is that we usually would rock her in our arms, just hold her like this and rock her, and maybe bounce a bit. We had this gym ball, so we would sit on the gym ball and bounce on it. She loved that. We would do that quite a lot, but then after a while, I think we used this ball every day, and after a while it actually broke. So then we didn't have the ball anymore, and she loved the bouncing. We actually decided when it broke that we wouldn't get a new one, because we were kind of at this point thinking about starting to do some kind of sleep training pretty soon, and we didn't want to be we didn't want to have a new gym ball, because we wanted to have new kind of routines. So after the ball broke, we just rocked her in our arms like this, pretty much, maybe bounced a bit, and she would fall asleep like that, and then we would put her down in the snoo. So that's how we did it. And around 6 months, we stopped using the snoo and we transferred her to her crib. And At the same time, we also needed to stop swaddling her, because in Snoo you can use the swaddle that is attached to the bed, so it is safe to swaddle babies that can roll. But then in a normal crib it's not safe anymore at 6 months, so we stopped using the swaddle and the Snoo pretty much at the same time, I think. And her sleep got much worse. Of course it was a transition period for her as well, but yeah, we had a couple of hard weeks with her sleep at this point. So the transitioning from Snoo to a normal crib was not easy for us. Okay, and then let's look at 7 to 9 months. So at this point she got used to sleeping in her own crib, and we always used, and we still use, white noise. I think that works really well on her. So Snoo has this built-in white noise, so she was really used to having white noise on when she's sleeping, and we just continue with that. When she was 7 to 9 months old, she would sometimes sleep next to us the last morning hours to get a longer stretch in the morning. So she was getting bigger at this point, and we felt more comfortable having her between us in the bed, not for the whole night, but yeah, a few hours in the morning to get some more sleep. At this point I was still nursing quite often, so she would wake up several times per night, and I would nurse every time she woke up. So at this point we also started gentle sleep training with her. So what we did was that we would put her down in her crib awake, and we would stay there next to her. We didn't do any cry it out, we wouldn't leave the room. We stayed there and would be stroking her head or her back and singing something or shushing, and we did this for several weeks before it really started giving results. I think the first week or so was pretty easy, then it got harder and she was crying more when we put her down, and then yeah, then it got easier and she got used to it. But it did take for us, it did take I think a month or so, maybe even a bit longer. So that was quite stressful, and at least I was quite stressed about it when putting her down for her night sleep. During naps we didn't do this. So during the evenings my boyfriend would be home and he could help, but during the days I'm usually by myself with her, and I found it too stressful to do this during the days when she was not really liking it and she was crying. So during the day I would rock her to sleep in my arms or would go out for a walk with the stroller, and yeah, that's how we did it. But then after a few weeks she got used to this new way of falling asleep and would fall asleep calmly in her bed, in her crib. At the same time we also developed a new nighttime routine, and we still do the same routine every night. So we put on pajamas, we come to the couch, we brush her teeth, which she doesn't like, but we still do it. We read a book every night. We always read the same book. I actually think I have it here. It's a Swedish book about going to bed, and this is actually a book you can use in sleep training. We didn't use this method strictly, but it's one of the methods you can do for sleep training, and it's a sleep coach who has written this book. So there is first a bedtime story with really nice illustrations, and then in the end there is a part to parents. You can read about sleep training. So this is the book we read each and every night to her, and then after that we listen to a song, a lullaby, and we also listen to the same song every night. So same book, same song, and then during the song we walk to the bedroom together, put on her sleep sack and put on her white noise, and just cuddle with her and put her to bed. Okay, and let's move on to 10 to 12 months. So when she was 10 months old, we went to my parents' place for almost 2 weeks, and her sleep got so bad when we were there, and it was really tough. I think that was because it was a new environment, a new room. They didn't have blackout curtains. Maybe we should have bought some when we were there. We didn't. It was also a new crib. She was sleeping in this pack and play portable crib, and a lot of new things. And I think that's what made her sleeping so hard. So it was impossible to get her to fall asleep without nursing. And before going to my parents' place, I did not nurse to sleep. So we would bounce or rock her or yeah, have her in her crib falling asleep like that, but it just didn't work at all. She just kept crying and crying. So I nursed to get her to fall asleep at my parents' place, and then she would wake up during the nights several times. It was really bad. I think it was every hour or every second hour, and every time she needed nursing to fall back asleep. And that was really hard. I was so tired. And frustrated, and it was really tough on us. We also did some co-sleeping when we were there, we tried to do whatever worked, but that didn't work either. But she would sleep next to me or between us, or then in her portable crib, but nothing really worked. It was terrible. So when we came home from my parents' place, I was exhausted, and I was so sad about because we had done sleep training, and it just felt like she had forgotten all about it, and she wasn't capable to fall asleep in her own crib anymore. So we had a few hard nights, tough nights here at home as well after coming back home, and she was crying quite a lot, and we had to rock her to sleep. But I did stop nursing her to sleep after a couple of nights, and then we just tried to, instead of nursing every time she woke up, we tried to soothe her in other ways. And it did get better after maybe a week or so. She started sleeping better again, but not good. So that's when I decided to stop nursing. I stopped breastfeeding during the night. I was too tired, and it felt like it didn't really help her anymore during the night, and I knew that she didn't need any food during the night because she was 10 months old, almost 11 months old at this point, and I was exhausted. So we just decided that we will stop breastfeeding. My boyfriend took her for a few nights, and I slept on the couch, and that went really good. It wasn't as hard as I thought. And then something amazing happened. So after a few nights, maybe after a week or so after I stopped breastfeeding, she started to sleep throughout the night. So she would sleep the whole night for the first time ever. So after 10, almost 11 months of being up constantly in the middle of the night nursing, we were able to sleep again, which was amazing and so fantastic. And that's pretty much where we are today. So we have our nighttime routine. We do the same thing every night. We go to our bedroom, we cuddle with her, and then we put her down. We have the white noise on, we listen to some lullabies before she falls asleep, and then we leave the room. And so she still sleeps with us in our bedroom right next to us, because even if she usually sleeps throughout the night, some nights we still need to soothe her and comfort her. She might wake up during the night still, but usually it's only once, and it's pretty easy to get her to fall asleep again during the night. And when I put her down for naps, I usually put her down drowsy but awake. But sometimes, so I'm standing in the bedroom and I'm holding her like this, we're cuddling, and then I put her down, and sometimes she is so tired that she actually falls asleep on me, and then I just put her down. But now she's able to connect her sleep cycle, so even if she falls asleep on me, I can still put her down and she can have a good nap in her crib. The next step for us would be to move her from our bedroom to her own room, so that she would start to sleep in her playroom instead. We haven't really decided when to do it. I was thinking that we would do it sometimes between 10 to 12 months, but we haven't done it yet. It is also easier and so much more convenient when she wakes up during the night, which she does sometimes, as I said, to have her in our bedroom. It's easier. We can just stay in the bed and put a hand on her and stroke her on her back, and instead of going up and going to her room and then coming back to the bedroom. So yeah, she's still with us in our bedroom. So that's about it about a baby sleep during the first year. I didn't talk that much about naps, but for us, for our baby girl, she, throughout the whole first year, she would usually take shorter naps rather than long naps. So 40 minutes, even 30 minutes, 45 minutes is pretty common for her. So she still sleeps 2 times during the day. Now the past weeks, she has started to sleep a bit longer on her first nap, and it could be 2 hours. Usually it's not, but it could be 1.5 hours for sure, but that's quite new. So usually she just takes shorter naps, and sometimes I try to get her to fall asleep again if she only sleeps for 30 or 40 minutes, but usually that doesn't work for us. So usually I don't even try anymore. Stroller works really good for us. So if we put her down in her stroller and go out for a walk, she usually always falls asleep, and she really likes her stroller now. In the beginning she could be fussing a bit in her stroller, but now it works perfectly. So usually the first nap of the day she will take in her crib, and then the second nap of the day, that's when we go out with the stroller, because the second nap is almost impossible to get her to fall asleep in her crib. It's so much easier to just go out with the stroller, and then also I get some fresh air and I get a walk. So I'm happy that the stroller works so well for us. During this first year we have also used a baby carrier, so the one where you wear the baby carrier on you and have the baby on you, and that has worked pretty well. Now she is quite heavy, and it's also been the winter, so we haven't used baby carrier that much. In the beginning we would use the baby carrier at home as well, and she could sometimes sleep in that, fall asleep like that, but that was when she was a newborn. Then sometimes I would put her in the baby carrier when we were outside if she really didn't want to be in the stroller, but that was before the winter, so that was a while ago. We haven't used the baby carrier that much now the past months. It was more in the beginning, but I think in the beginning a baby carrier, baby wearing is a really good idea, at least if you want to get free hands or if you need to go somewhere. So as I said, our baby girl was our first child, so we could just really sit on the couch and hold her while she was sleeping. But with several kids, or if you need to go out a lot and do other things and just be with the baby, a baby carrier is a really good idea, so I would recommend that. And the baby nest we were using was this sleep carrier from Nayel. and we really liked that one. We also had it in her stroller for the first month, so we would put her down in the sleep carrier and put it in her stroller, so that was really good. But the sleep carrier, it's a bit bigger than a normal baby nest, so I would also recommend getting just a normal baby nest that will be more cozy for your baby. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and if you have any comments, please let me know. So just drop me a comment, and I will see you guys soon again. Bye!